Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and we are on part 3 of our shop journal. So, when you were here last, which I believe was part 2, we put on our narrow spine, decorated it like it was a shop wall, and we put on our boutique label and greenery. Now obviously if you're doing something other than a boutique, you're doing a craft shop or a food shop, you would have different images. And then while you were absent from class, you naughty people, I used the full brick sheet to cover the other side of the cereal box. So that's ready to go, and that's now the back. Okay, it's now the back, and I did the other spine, but this time you can see I allowed for my signatures. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures going in here, and I measured them. I believe they're a centimetre apart, aren't they? Yeah, a centimetre apart. And then I've got a top. It doesn't really matter yet because I've not stabbed my papers, but we've got a top, a middle and a bottom hole. And then what I intend to do is, once I have stitched my spines in and I've got all my strings down there, I'm going to put this vintage sign over the majority of my strings, just, you know, advertising. Okay, and I did put a blue advertisement on the back wall just to go with our blues. Okay, so that's where I'm up to. Now, this is a standard signature that we're going to sub in, and that's going to go on that side. And this is the front cover for the wider part, and that's going to go on that side there. Okay, but we're going to set them to one side, and we're going to work on the narrow part and the back. Okay, so I'm going to line this up like so. I'm going to use a piece of washi tape to stick these together for the short term. I'm obviously going to cover these, so it doesn't matter that it looks a bit bitty at the moment. Okay, so that's that part done, and now you can see that it's going to stand like that. Now the difference between the sewn signatures on this side and this narrow panel, in my book, you can do it any way you want to, is going to be these. So, sorry about the noise. If you've come across the Tim Holtz hitch posts, they tend to be these little tiny ones, and you can wrap a ribbon around them or whatever and use them as closures for journals, etc. But I'm going to put my pole on the back there. Now, as you can see, my pole is not as long as the depth of my book, but that suits me fine, and I'll explain why to you in a minute. Now, because my shop is a boutique, I want this side to be a display of fabrics that people can choose to have custom made into clothing. So I've got these fabric slips. Now there's lots of designers that do these. These particular ones come from Which Craft Do You Do? So I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. already done 6 of them, and then here I've got a sheet with 2 more. So let's quickly do them so you can see how that works. So you just simply chop this out. Now, because I'm working on narrow space, I'm chopping mine short, and I'm just gonna come all the way down there, pull that one off, round the other side, trim these off. Now you could obviously just put a slimmer signature the other side if you wanted to. I particularly wanted to do this. So, you know, it depends on the subject matter of your shop, really, as to how you might address, you know, what you're going to put on your narrow side. Okay, so having cut it out, you simply, it's so simple, just simply fold on that faux inked line like so. Make sure you got it nice and straight. I know that Sam Paul has these as well in her haberdashery kit. Lots of people have these. And then just bend that over the same, like that. And then you'll just run some glue up there and seal that up like so. Okay, and then you can have great fun going through and filling them up with fabric. So what have I got? I've got this lovely piece. This is that vintage stuff, so it could do with a good press, but hey ho. So then you just take your fabric piece, you're going to pop it underneath the edge flap, and then that's going to come down like that, and that's going to hold that in place for you, and that's your fabric sample. You can do it with laces, you can glue this shut, you can put a staple in it as I'm going to, you can do whatever it is that you choose to do. Now I'm going to get mine right down there on the edge to make sure that that is held down. Okay, really should have been ironed, but hey ho. Trim these off. So when I've gone through and I have done all of my pieces, I'm going to get my punch, and that's another reason why I put the fabric all the way down there, because the punch doesn't necessarily like to go through fabric. There we go, and I've got a hole there, and then this is going to go on my rail like this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work out where that fits on my cover. So there's the fold line, and I want it fairly near the top because that'll allow me to put something else at the bottom. So there's the fold, it's going to come in a bit, and what I'm going to do is take the spindle out, and then I can put a mark there so I know where to put my hole. Pick it up, and the reason, oh that's annoying, okay, it's going to have to come higher up because my hole punch doesn't actually reach So it's going there whether we like it or not. Okay, pull that piece out, and now my spindle is going to go through the back like so, and then there's my pole that all of my fabric samples are going to stack up on. Okay, now the reason I've done this now is because I need that before I put my front cover on, you know, my lining paper. And yes, we've got this metal disc on the front there showing, but sorry, showing, but I can hang a little pot plant or something decorative from there. Really doesn't matter. Maybe even hang a smaller sign. So I'm going to put a little bit of Yoo-hoo glue on that because it's metal, and then we're just going to poke that through. So a little bit of Yoo-hoo around the circle hole, pop that through and press it home, and then while I hold it tight from the other side, I can just wipe away any excess glue. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more around the inside there, and I'm just going to wipe that round with my pokey tool flat end, and that is now going to set nicely for me. So if I pull the rest of my strips down and I put this up there, it can dry while I do the rest of my fabrics. And don't lose my little screw bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's not been stuck, so I'm just going to stick this one okay. That one's stuck, and now I'm just going to go into my fabric scrap box. That one's already done, so we poke him up there. I've got some lovely Tim Holtz fabric here, but I'm not convinced that, oh actually if we did that, I don't even know if I'm on or off camera, if we did that little side there, that would be nice, wouldn't it? So there, and there. So I'm going to tear that down, tear that across, and then we've got that one to go in there. So another little staple. Obviously if you wanted to, you could ink these up. I'm choosing not to. What else have we got in my scrap box? I don't think I want this. I feel like that's a bit dark. Oh. And I don't really want to use green again, or do I? Oh, we could do actually. That looks like quite a nice piece that would work. And then oh, pop that one under there. So there's another green one. Oh, that's a washing machine that you can probably hear about to make. Now we've got this lovely piece of lace, but it's not, oh, it could be long enough. So let's get some big scissors. Chop that. I don't think actually it's going to be long enough. We'll see. Oh, it could be. Okay, so we've got a lace, 2 greens and that black. Oh, this blue is lovely. And I think actually, as I've got one of these beige ones, I'm going to put this blue on there. So, oh, it sounds like the washing machine's about to kick off. I might have to put you on balls. Yeah, that's lovely on there, isn't it? Okay, now I've got 2 more. So, oh, that's hubby having a violent sneezing fit. I do apologise. That's nice. So, straighten that up a bit because that's a bit crooked, isn't it? And then that's lovely. And then the last one, what do we think for the last one? I feel like because of that black that's got pink in it, we should have a pink or a red or something. So what have I got in here? No. Oh, look, we've got some of my baby girl's dress. This is my granddaughter's dress once upon a time. We could definitely have some of that on there. So we'll snip through there. And then pull that off. And then that will go under there. So there are my fabric samples. Get rid of all these little bits out of the way over there. And now I want to come back and I want to put my holes in them. So one, two, three. Well, this one's going to be hard. Oh, no, it's not. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, hopefully, Yep, my pole is now nicely stuck. So let's put my cover on upside down. Obviously this is not going to be final because I need to back the inside. But we've got green and green, and then we've got that lace, and then that pink lace, that one because it's got the pink in, and then the calm blue because that also sits with that blue, and then the vibrant blue on the front. And then when I put this in, and whoops, whew. I've got fingers and toes today, haven't I? Goodness me. I'm going to do this. Don't argue with me. Maybe I'm not going to do this. Oh, and now the washing machine really is going to kick off. There you go. And then, in my shop, we open up and we've got this rail of fabric samples that people can have their clothes made out of. Now, as you can see, you look down, whoops, this is because this is washi tape, it's not very secure, is it? You can see there's space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find one that fits the other side. So I don't think we can go as long, or can we? No, we can't. So I'm going to have to use, yeah, see that's too big. That's going to make it gator mouth. But if I use a small one, what I can do is I can connect the small one to this side, and then when we open our shop we'll have it on both sides, okay? But more importantly, I can put a magnet on there, and that's what will snap shut for us on our book, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some, this is really easy to do, you just take some ink. I hope this one will show, I usually do it in black. Take a little bit of ink, get it marked on there, and then if I bring this up and bring it over, okay, and then we can work out exactly where that needs to go. Does that make sense? And then look, we'll have one either side, and the magnet that will be on there will make that snap shut. So here's my magnets. You can see because everything's stuck to them. If we put a little bit of glue on the top of this screw, like that, and we stick two magnets to it, like that. That glue will seal that magnet, or stick that magnet to that screw. And then that one is going to go, you can see they're very strong. That one is going to go on there. I'm just going to redo this. There we go. And I'm going to put my T-magnets in the centre there, and I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, now obviously you don't need this box of goodies in order to do this, especially if you're not doing clothing. If you're doing something else, it's definitely not needed. But if you do want them, I found these on Amazon. I can't remember now because I've had them a long time. I think they were about £8 or something like that, but there is quite a lot in here. Okay, so there you go. That is part 3 of my boutique shop, and there's the hanging rail. Oh, make sure that one's not stuck to the glue. There's my hanging rail of fabric samples. Now, as homework while you're gone, when that glue's dry, I'll get the other side done, and then when we come back next time, we can look at doing the inside papers and getting this on, and how this one is going to stay shut. All right, so as always, I'd like to say a huge thank you for you coming along and joining me today. I hope you found some joy and inspiration with my fabric sample rail. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.